Hey everybody, welcome to the January reveal of our County Line craft box and also our tutorial video. I'm super excited to share this one with you guys. As always, whenever you open up the box, you will have a picture that gives you an example of what our project will look like for the month, as well as our step-by-step directions. These are the same directions that I'll use to do the craft with you today. First thing I'm going to do is take everything out of the box. We've got our plate with our glue and our different paint colors and sponges. We have a paintbrush that we'll be using. We've got some twine. And then we've got our wooden cutouts, some sandpaper. So I'm going to take everything out and set it on my table. And before you get started painting, I always recommend that you cover up your work surface. The box that your kit comes in is a great way to do that. I like to recycle my box every month, so I will not be using it. I have some paper down on the table so that I don't get paint on it. And I'm going to take my picture out of the box so that I can see it as I move my box out of the way. I like to have this just so I have an example of what my pieces should look like. You always have the option of making yours however you want. You can sub different colors, but that way I know the look that I am going for. Okay, the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna lightly sand your 1x4s, which are these pieces if needed. So I'm gonna get all three of my 1x4s. I'm gonna take these pieces off of here. And as you can see in the picture, they're going to end up being stacked on top of each other. So really the only thing you're gonna see is the fronts, the top of one, and then the sides. So I'm gonna use my sandpaper, and some of my sides have kind of rough, jagged edges from where I cut them with the saw. So I'm just gonna quickly sand those down. So they look good. And I'm gonna pick one piece of wood that I want to be my top when my little books are stacked. And I'm gonna sand that one just a little bit more. So I'm just filing off the edges. I'm not gonna worry about sanding the bottom since it won't really be seen. And these don't have to be perfect, it's just to get those little rough rays off. All right, I think that looks pretty good. We're gonna use 2 light coats of paint. You're gonna take your white paint cup, open it up, get that dust off from the wood, and you're gonna use your 1-inch chip brush. All right, and you're gonna dip it in the paint, and you're gonna brush on 2 light coats of paint. So we'll do one, let it dry, and then do another. Lighter coats are gonna work better than a super thick coat because it's gonna dry better and more evenly. one looks good. I'm just gonna slide it over to the side. Do my next one. I'm having to put a little extra on the ends just because with them being kind of rough, the paint soaks into that a little bit more. Alright, I'm going to set those there and let them dry just a few minutes while I wait to do the second coat. I was looking for a baby wipe to wipe my paint off my hands and I don't know where I moved them to. So, paper towel. Alright, step 2. Grab a sponge and dip your sponge, these are our sponges, into the white paint and paint the small round and rectangle. And you're also going to paint the heart base. So you'll need your heart, rectangle, and the round. And you're going to use your paper plate. You're going to dip the fat end of your sponge into your paint, dab off the extra, and then use a dabbing up and down motion to paint your pieces. And then generally with white, since it's such a light color, I like to do 2 coats on it. So I'll do a coat and then I'll go back and paint my boards their second coat and then come back and dab a second light coat on these. And I'll let those dry. All right, those look pretty even. I'm gonna grab just a little bit more white paint, and I'll make sure I put a little bit extra in your cups when I do the paint in your cups. I might have had enough that it was gonna be really, really close. All right, and we're just gonna dab on a second coat. And I can't remember if I explained this a second ago or not, but the reason why I dip the sponge into the paint and then dab it off on the paper plate is to get the extra paint off so that it doesn't go on too thick and heavy and get clumpy. So we just want a nice thin, even layer. Almost got it. All right. All right, now we are moving on to step 3. I'm going to move these out of the way so that they can dry and not get in my way. All right, step 3, grab your words and another sponge and dip your sponge into the black. Dab off the excess paint and then gently dab up and down on the letters, being mindful to not get paint on the edges. A tip that I have is to use painter's tape. So just pull off a piece of painter's tape or masking tape and stick the ends to your work surface so that the sticky side is up like this. And then you can stick your small pieces on there. So for this, we're gonna have our better together will be in black. I'm going based off of the picture. And then what says love you more is also going to be in black. And love you more is all in individual letters. So lots of little tiny pieces to try to hold while you're painting, and this just helps not get quite so much paint on your fingers. Sorry, I have a runny nose. We got snow last night and Charlie and I were outside playing and my nose is still running. So I'm going to open up my black paint, grab a clean sponge, dip it in, dab off the extra, And then dab up and down on everything. And then you're also going to want to paint your little easel stand pieces. We'll paint one side black. And then I'm going to go back over and do another light coat of black on my letters. And I'll flip the stand pieces over and paint the back of them as well. All right, and we'll let that dry. And you're going to repeat that with the hearts in your XOXO. So I'm going to get another piece of masking tape ready. And I'm going to sort out everything that I want, red and pink. So I'll actually get 2 pieces of masking tape. So I'm going to do everything that's red here closer to me. And then I'll do my pink stuff up here. Pink, red. Wait. That's pink. Oh, I got myself confused. Hold on. That's red. That's pink. And then this. So there's a red, pink, pink, red. This is a lot harder than I would have thought. Okay. And then I want this one to be red. I want all my little hearts to be pink. Because I'm going to do it just like the picture. All right, there we go. All right, we have 1 sponge left. I'm gonna start with my red because I'm actually gonna mix a little bit of pink and red together, I think, to make my pink. Okay. And the red that we're using is kind of a metallic red. It has like a shimmery look. And I want to get a little bit of that in my pink as well. So that's why I'm using my red and pink on the same sponge. We'll let that dry just a second, and then I'll go back and give it another thin coat. I recommend not dropping your paint sponge on your floor at home. Okay. All right, now I'm ready for my pink pieces. I'm going to actually mix these together a little bit. I'm going to take some of this sparkly red, dab it on my plate, and get some of this pink to mix them together so that I get a little bit of that sparkle look in with it. Alright, and then I'm going to get the extra off of my sponge so that it's not too thick. Alright, those look like they're pretty even. I'm going to let them dry. I'm going to move my paint out of the way. And we're going to move on to step 4. Stack the 3 1x4s and glue them together. So I'm going to look at these and I'm going to pick the prettier edge to be the front. Let's see. I like that one. And then I'm also going to pick the one with the prettiest top to be on the top. I think that one will go in the middle. So you're going to just stack them up neatly, and we're pretending like they're books. To open up your super glue, you're going to twist the cap on. Some of our super glues have a separate cap. Some of them are just open, so you just twist it on all the way. Be careful not to do it right over your surface because you don't want it to squirt out on your project. And we're just going to put a little dab of glue. And I'm going to put squirting out. Okay. And then you're going to take your twine. My wood pieces are not, they're dry. They're dry enough. We're gonna take our twine and put it underneath on the side. We're gonna tie them together. And then you're going to glue the words "Love You More" on the edge of your books. And when I'm doing this, I'm going to align my words on the right side over here. So for the first one, love, I'm going to actually start with the E and line it up on the right edge. And you just need a little dab of glue. And you'll give it a good press on. And then I need the V. What do you need, Charlie? Mama's doing her video.
Okay, honey.
You can have one piece.
Okay.
It's a fine line between having too much glue and not having enough. And then I'll do the same thing with the word U. I'll start with my last letter of U. And then the O. And the Y. And then our last word is more. And then we're also going to glue 3 small pink hearts on the left side. set that to the side to dry. Step 5, lay the letters out on the small round how you want it to look. And I always recommend doing this before you glue, is lay your pieces out so you can make sure you have it lined up like you want. And then I'm going to just dab a little glue. And then we'll glue our hearts at the top. Let's see. It's pink, and I've got one red. So I'll glue the red heart in the middle, the top. And then one of the small pink ones goes in the middle of it. And one on each side, if you want it to look like the picture. There we go, I'll set that to the side to dry. And then I'm gonna take my big heart. And the one that goes inside of it. And then last we'll need our rectangle and our XOXO. I'm going to lay out the base layer first. And get those lined up. And then we'll glue those on. And then we'll glue the red on top of those. And there we go. So we've got our little better together round. To put it in the base, you just take your two pieces together like this. And then you can set the piece in it. There we go. And then we've got our stack of books. The heart. And our XOXO. Oh, I almost forgot. We need to glue our stand onto the back of our little XOXO thing. So what we're gonna do is, should go like that. Yep. So you've got a little rectangle like this that has a little cutout. You are going to dab a little bit of glue on the back of that, like so, and glue it to the back of your sign at the bottom in the middle. There we go. And then you've got this little triangle wedge, and you're just gonna, it sits right in the middle of that slot so that you have a way to hold your sign up without it falling over. I have glue on my table and I'm trying to not get the project in that. There you go. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. My refrigerator and furnace were kicking on during this video, so I hope you could hear me okay. If you couldn't and you have a question about anything, you can always message me, comment, let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you're interested in purchasing a box for the first time or you want to gift it to somebody, you can go to our website, countylinecraft.com, and subscribe or purchase a one-time box through PayPal on our website. Or you can also message me and I can send you a direct link to the PayPal. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a good day.